Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to the Homemaker
And the Apprentice.
So, I hope you guys have been off to a good start for the new year. We, however, didn't get a great start off to the new year from all the way before Thanksgiving until just the last couple days. We have had sickness in our house, like we talked about, when things don't go like planned. So, hopefully you guys are off to a much better start to 2024. Woohoo!
Healthy.
So, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Before we go any further, we ask that you like, subscribe, and share if you guys are enjoying this so that we know what kind of things you want to hear about, what things we can talk more deeply about, and just to see if this is something that has value for you out there.
Yeah.
So you guys, I hope that it is beneficial for you, and there's something that we're being able to share from what we've learned in here. So being the new year,
Yes.
and we'll apologize up front if there's any coughing in here. We will try to not, which has been the delay in us doing any other videos, is because we're both trying not to hack too much. So hopefully if you guys have been dealing with the same thing, you are feeling better. And thank you, Lord, for modern medicine and antibiotics and all the other medicines that we are able to utilize, whether it's homeopathic, herbal, or modern medicine. I am so thankful for all of them.
Yeah, we do. We use homeopathic, but poor mother, she was so not feeling it. She's like, I don't have any energy to deal with this right now. It
takes a lot of time.
Yes.
It does take a lot of time. I am all for it. I believe in it. But when you're having to go research it and figure it out, and then figure out which one of those things actually works for the symptom that you're having, sometimes it can be just really daunting. And if it was the only thing that I had, I would be so extremely grateful for it, for all of my family members. But we do have some other options, and so we just jumped on that bandwagon after a while, because like I said, it was kind of from before Thanksgiving all the way through New Year's that we have been dealing with stuff. So anyway, hopefully a much healthier beginning to 2024. So that was going to bring us up to what we were going to talk about today. New Year's resolutions, and if they have a place in the life of a homemaker and an apprentice, and how do we go about implementing changes? Is it a good idea to set yourself up with these big momentous year goals that you want to work on? Is it a good idea to it seems like an opportunity for failure for me most of the time. So that's what we were going to talk about. Resolutely wrong to make New Year's resolutions in my mind. So Audrey had some things that she was going to share first, and then I'll chime in here as we go.
Oh dear.
Because she was kind of equating things. It's something that we've talked about a lot, because as we've done the videos with you guys and you've gotten to hear, we talk about planning and how much you can think beyond today. And so this is a big one that people put a lot of stock in. A lot of people put stock in this idea of, well, New Year's resolution. I will start that. Seems to be the same thing with Lent or something else. It's always I guess my always problem with it is it's putting it off for another day and saying, I can't do that right now. I can't affect any change right now, so I'm going to put it off to some
until there's some big date or whatever that I gotta get the tissue in there. There's some big date.
Real life, people. Real life.
Exactly. But that was really funny, where when you're doing New Year's resolutions, we were talking about it. Like, I'll always say, like, oh, well, when I have kids or whatever, I'll do this. And Mom was like, oh, yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, there are going to be a lot of things, and you don't know what the new year is going to look like. So it could be totally crazy, and you might honestly get sick, or there might be some random thing going on in your life that really needs
life event,
your attention. And if you're trying to keep on your goal or whatever, you're going to miss some other things. I guess priority wise, I don't know. I'm trying to say this.
You're, I think, again, like I said, you're setting yourself up for failure, because when most people that I know that pick a New Year's resolution, it's something like, we'll go with the classic one. I want to lose weight. I want to get to the gym 5 days a week. I want to eat healthier, whatever these things are. But they're usually very huge lifestyle changes. And the fact that you're thinking about it ahead of time, and then you put a start date for January 1st or whatever, it's putting a lot of pressure on you, and because you don't know what's going to happen, and you don't know, it's good to have time to prepare for something. If you're going to change how you eat or the way that you go about your day, it's good to have time to prepare for that. But where the mental part becomes hard for us as humans is that we're not good about momentous change. We just aren't. Most people cannot take on some big momentous change and stick with it day to day, month to month, without a long period of ramp up things. And then as a homeschool mom, Charlotte Mason was, is a huge part of the people, the lifestyle and the homeschool journey that we look at. And one of her big things is habit formation. And I've read tons of books on habit formation, Atomic Habits, a bunch of other ones, because I like these kind of books to think about what is it that we can do as humans? What is it that we have the ability to do well, rather than setting ourselves up for failure? And so Charlotte Mason, one of her things was, you can't change too many things at one time. Yeah. And you have to do something consistently for 6 weeks before it becomes a habit. And if it's not a habit, then you're going to always find excuses and reasons why you don't need to do it that day. So, what if you have to work late 30 minutes? Well, the gym has to go out the door because now you have to, get home and get dinner or whatever. And so then you do it the one time, but then the next day something happens. And so you skip it the second time, and then you get into this cycle of, well, I'm never going to get that done. So you give up. And
it takes forever to get into a habit, but it only takes a little bit to get out of one.
Well, yeah, but you're not even into the habit yet when you start these big changes, and so you're trying to establish habit. And when we establish things that are so big and we try and do so many things, so the resolutions part is probably where I have the harder way of understanding why people would do this. Because if you want to set up one, maybe that's okay. Maybe you can do one, or you can do one for January, and then you can start another one in March, and then you could start another one in May or something. So you're giving yourself that 6 weeks to add on to it, and to be able to do it instead of doing it all on a one-day starting thing. And I'm gonna do this, and then I think most people are not very specific. So I'm gonna start eating healthier on January 1st. What does that mean? What does eating healthy mean to you? Does that mean carnivore? Does that mean vegetarian? Does that mean keto? Does that mean what does that mean?
Taking your vitamins every day.
Right. And so there's such a big range of what people consider healthy eating, and you also have to base it on what were you eating before. So you can make your eating healthier by just cutting out some things rather than really needing to go completely shift your lifestyle and your diet, and start with smaller changes that are actually attainable. But one thing at a time, I think, is the bigger goal for that, and why I think it's setting yourself up for failure when you try and change too many things at once.
Maybe it's just like you take a thing out if you can. Like, I'm going to start eating healthier, or I'm just going to stop eating potato chips. Yeah. Or something smaller, right. Something more attainable.
Mm-hmm. Or minimize my sugar. Like, I'm only going to have dessert 2 times a week or something. There's all kinds of things that we can do that set us up to be successful, rather than doing all the things that set us up for failures. And then, how do you recover from a failure? How do you recover from that is a big part of your character. And so that's where we have to be working on our character. You don't just throw up your hands and give up when something doesn't go the way that you want it to. You might have to regroup and try it a different way if it's something that you really feel strongly about needing to be a part of your life or not a part of your life, whichever the case is, if you're adding something to or taking something away.
Yes.
But I think if we take our lives in bigger segments rather than focusing on every single day, like, did I eat horribly today? Did I eat well today? Maybe expand it to a week. Like, I want to eat well this week. So on the whole, I want the picture to look like a healthier week of eating rather than, oh, darn it, I had that whole bag of M&Ms today. And so, oh, well, I can have a whole bag of M&Ms tomorrow.
No.
And, and you just give up on it rather than thinking about a way to accomplish what it is that you would like to do for the long term. And that's what that's another part of it for me too, is just what is the change? Is it something that you want to happen just for a quick thing, or are you trying to look at the long term of your life and putting new habits in place for your family, for yourself, for whatever it is, for your work, that are going to carry you for a long time, or you're wanting a quick fix? And if you're looking for the long term, then slow and steady wins the race, right? I mean, it's the tortoise and the hare.
Goodness.
And the tortoise always comes out on the better end of the stick every time you hear the story. I mean, no matter how it's told, it's always the person who is consistently willing to show up and do something, whether it's once a week, once a month, twice a week, every day.
Rather than trying to do it so fast that you burn yourself out.
Yeah, you burn yourself out. Right. And so then, where does that fall within homemaking and apprenticing? I guess that's the question, because that's what we come back to. That's what this channel is trying to be about, helping people understand what is it like to be a homemaker, and then what wisdom have I gained, or stuff that I would want to pass on to you. And I think that's the thing that I come back to time and time again. Just be really careful about jumping in whole hog to lots of things simultaneously. We watch, like we said, we watch some other channels. I've gotten to where I watch less and less. I really don't watch much anymore, because I found a discontent was happening within me, just watching other people and thinking, oh, I'm not there yet, or I don't have these things together, or I would love to do that, but I don't have this and this and this. And some of those have been homesteading videos over it, and I kind of laugh, because they start these homesteading farms and lifestyle thinking that they're going to have it all together right away, and they don't. And the people that we look up to, the ones that I really do think have their stuff together, it's because they've been doing it for 15, 20, 25 years. But we look at it from the outside and we think, oh, they have it all together right now. But no, they didn't. They didn't have it that way. And yet, because of the way that our social media and our lifestyles work right now, we don't get to see the slow progression of life and of moms and wives, learning as they went through all of this stuff. We just get to see, oh, they're a great mom now. They are a great cook. They're a great, all of these things. But we didn't get to see all the burned loaves of bread, the chicken that was too dry to eat, the beef brisket that was too tough to even cut. We don't get to see those things, because they were a part of the learning process. And when you only get dropped into the picture years down the road, you don't get to see those things. And so making a New Year's resolution of, I'm going to be a better something right now, based on what you're seeing other people do, is a fallacy. Like, I started knitting and crocheting just a few years ago. So if I were to compare myself to somebody who's been doing it for years and years and years, then I can't compete.
I still have some of your first things. Yeah. They're awesome.
They're horrible.
Awesome. They're so good.
Yeah. My little bunny. I was making this little bunny, and it turned into a puppy, like a wiener puppy. It was hilarious. I actually did get rid of that one, but
did you?
It was,
No,
it was supposed to be a little chubby bunny. It was
like this,
and then it turned into a chubby wiener dog. It was pretty funny, but anyway,
it was cute. Still.
Yeah, you can't compare yourself to people who have been doing things for a long time and think that you're going to come out at the same level. And And so that's where our desires can outpace our abilities. And then we discount what abilities we do have because we think we're not matching up to what somebody else has put out there as the goal. So when you're thinking about things like, what would I like to change in my life? I don't think we have to wait for a certain date.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have to wait for a certain date. There are, like I said, there's times if you want to change the eating of your family, it's good to clean out your pantry, clean out some stuff in there so that it's not a temptation to you, so that you can start your new eating style well.
Let your family know.
Yeah, let your family know,
Let
but
your
also
family know.
I'm not for wasting food at the same time as, you know, if it's junk food, then who cares? You can get rid of it. Just realize it's not worth it, and that was a poor financial decision to buy those things to feed your family and get it out of the house, and then don't replace it. But you know, we want to use up stuff as we go. But if you're making a huge shift, then you know, you might need to have that ramp up time to be able to get through it and say, you know, I'm going to finish up the things that we have in our house, and then we're going to start here in another couple of weeks or whatever, however long you buy groceries for, and then we'll get going on our new eating style. But if it's about exercising, you know, maybe you can't go walking every day, but maybe you can go once a week right now, and maybe that's okay. And then in a month you try and add the second day a week. And if it's maybe you can do every day, but you can only do 15 minutes, fine, do 15 minutes. These are all good benchmarks. You don't have to go, if I can't do 30 minutes of exercise, that's not going to count. Yes, it does. It's all good. It will work, and it will all add up to being something of value. But if you set yourself up to say, I have to exercise 30 minutes every day, 5 days a week, and then you miss a day or two, then you start thinking, well, I fell off the bandwagon, so there's no good here. And our minds are very powerful about this stuff. And if we work in a way that fights against them, then we're not working with the power that we have within our mental abilities. And so we want to be doing things to help ourselves out. And that's not setting ourselves up for failure by putting too much pressure on the whole thing. What else did you want to have to talk about?
I think you said it all really well.
Oh. So I talk too much.
No,
No,
I'm so sorry. I'm trying.
Out over here.
I'm trying.
I need to have a little throat clearing.
Yes.
Excuse us. Not great things.
There we go.
Yeah.
I might be able to. There we go. I can talk now.
Hey.
I think you hit everything that I had on my list.
Oh,
pretty
wow.
well.
I'm so prescient.
See,
Yeah, no.
It's.
I'm just
See,
messing with
she can
you.
read my mind.
I'm a mind reader. Yes. You silly. So anyway, I guess we'll kind of close this one up. We wanted to keep them a little shorter because some of the other ones are getting a little longer. So we're going to try and keep them a little shorter. We value your time, and we want to be a part of your day, but we don't want to take up your whole day. And so we're going to try and keep them a little shorter in general. But if you are looking at making some changes right now, I would just say, do it slow and steady. Make some small changes first, and do them one at a time. Use the ramp up period and building blocks. You know, fix one thing, and then you'll be able to fix the other thing. And again, sometimes when you fix the one thing, the next thing that you thought was what needed to happen won't be the right thing. And so when you plan too far out, you'll set yourself up for getting frustrated about thinking, well, I thought when I got this done that would be the next thing I need to do, but that won't always be the case. And so thinking too far out is the hard part of that. So in all of this, again, we say Deo Volente, God willing, I will attempt to do these things. I will attempt not to do these things. And you just give yourself a clean start, a clean slate every day. Every day is a new day that you get to get up and you get to make better choices for that day, for that time that God has given you. And, this is the day that the Lord has made. So let us rejoice and be glad in it, and use each day for what it's worth. We're all only given the same number of hours in the day, but we get to choose what we do with them. And so may we all make wise choices about how to move forward into this next year. So you guys, Happy New Year again. Like, subscribe, share. If you're enjoying this content, we would love to hear from you. We've gotten 1 or 2 comments so far, so it would be great to hear some more from you and see what kind of things you would like to hear about. And trying to block the sun. We got sun rays going on, but I love the sun, so I'm not going to complain. And just let us know if there's anything else that you'd like to have us talk about, because we're open to suggestions. So before we start coughing and breaking anybody's eardrums, we're gonna sign off for the day. So
happy homemaking.
Yeah, happy homemaking. So you guys have a great day from the Homemaker
and the Apprentice.
Bye. See you later.